Violent protests erupted in central Kenya after plans to build a United States-backed Ebola quarantine facility sparked outrage among residents in the town of Nanyuki. Kenyan police fired tear gas and deployed water cannons on Tuesday to disperse demonstrators near Laikipia Air Base, where the quarantine center was expected to be constructed. Large crowds gathered in the streets, carrying out protests against what they described as the forced importation of Ebola-related risks into Kenya. Protesters burned barricades, blocked roads, and clashed with police as tensions escalated throughout the day. According to local activists, residents fear the facility could expose nearby communities to dangerous health risks, despite government assurances that the center would only monitor Americans exposed to Ebola abroad. One activist, Marlon Nadegwa, accused authorities of ignoring public opposition and even violating court orders that temporarily halted the project. He questioned why Kenyan security forces were using force against their own citizens to protect what protesters describe as an American project. Dozens of protesters were reportedly arrested during the unrest, although Kenyan authorities have not officially confirmed the total number of detentions or injuries. The controversy began after U.S. officials announced plans to establish a quarantine center inside Kenya, instead of transporting potentially exposed American citizens back to the United States. The proposed facility at Laikipia Air Base was expected to contain around 50 quarantine beds. However, Kenya's courts later suspended construction after legal challenges were filed by the Law Society of Kenya and civil rights organizations. The petitioners argued that Kenya's healthcare system remains fragile and claimed the agreement between Nairobi and Washington lacked transparency. Residents in Nanyuki say they were never properly consulted about the project. Kenya itself has not recorded any Ebola cases, but neighboring Uganda has confirmed multiple infections in recent weeks, increasing fears across the region. As protests intensified, police maintained a heavy presence around the military base and major roads throughout the town. The situation has now become both a public health debate and a political flashpoint, with growing criticism directed at Kenya's government over its handling of the controversial agreement with the United States.